at 18 and a half, 19 years old, when I came onto this soil and said that you know what I'm saying, or was being taught by the God that I was an earth, for me, there were no other earths around at the time. So the earths that I met, or the women that even considered themselves to be queens or whatever, when I met them is when I traveled to New York to the parliaments, showing proofs, and that's when I started meeting earths. Then later on, you know what I'm saying, we started growing and developing, and then I met people like Queen Jamisa, who had been in this nation for a long time, but I didn't know her, you know what I'm saying, back in 1991 and 92 when I was here in RichMind, and the guy was telling me to wrap my hair, you know what I'm saying, and to dress a certain type of a way, and not to eat this kind of a way, you know what I'm saying, or whatever have you. And I'm walking there on the streets, and I had to face the battle with my family, my friends who knew me to be one way, you know what I'm saying. I personally didn't know anybody else around me in my circumference. I had to travel outside of here to go see that. Now, were there earths here? There had to be. Because like I mentioned earlier, G. Colleen and E. Luna, they was here. I just didn't know them. So I, at that moment, felt like I walked alone. And then I had to travel out to meet that. And then later on, you know what I'm saying, the brothers that started gaining knowledge from these brothers and coming around, and the cipher started growing. They started bringing women around, and then, you know what I'm saying, I started meeting other women who I could, you know what I'm saying, help, teach, and groom, you know what I'm saying, to make knowledge born. So then when you're talking about me, they always be like, oh, you got a God complex. Yeah, I got a God complex. Because in 1991, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, and probably somewhere close to 97, these are the people, like how we sitting here right now and I'm here with you. This is how I got it. And when they was building with each other, they didn't treat me no different. When I walked into the room, they asked me how you see today's degree. And if I said anything that was fucked up, you know what I'm saying, and they're part of my language, but I'm just being real about it. If I said anything that was out the way, just like how they bomb you, they did me the same way. So if my demeanor comes across, you know what I'm saying, or my presentation comes across strong, you just have to understand and know that the reason why it comes around that way, because my foundation was built off of being around the brothers. And the reason why was because even when other sisters started coming around, and they can tell you, and I still do it now today, and you see it right now at this moment, I wanted this knowledge so bad that we could all be at an event. And if the guys was over there, I know they building. They talking about lessons. They talking about life. They giving it to each other. Whereas the women might be over here and chit chat, kick, ha. I'm going over there because I really wanted it. I really wanted to know. So I picked up on that energy to become who you see before you today. And I'm proud of that, because in that, you know what I'm saying, that I got from my brothers at that time or whatever have you, it made me the person that I am today, that I love, bleed, blood, sweat, and tears this way of life. And I see and can see a lot of things because of my building with them. Everybody don't see that. Some men don't see that. I have sat on the hot seat on many a days. I remember being at his house one day. Gold Mine was there, and it was the culture day, and they asked me how I see today's mathematics. And I said, well, we was going around the room in a cipher, and all the guys was like, I see today's mathematics as I got da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And when they got to me, I said, I see today's mathematics as I earth. Do you know? I cried. They made me, that's the first time they made me cry that day. And I could not understand why. I said, I earth, because I'm not God. I'm the earth, so I'm not you. So if I'm talking about my culture, then I'm talking about I earth. Now, Cypher Gold Mine tore a hole in my behind as if I was one of y'all. No mercy, no mercy. I cried. I sitting there crying, snot and what am I supposed to say? How am I supposed to see? I'm the earth, I'm not God. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I left an impression on your mind to where you call it with the...
No, what happened was I went home and I dealt with the dissatisfaction of my relationship with Shabi and what was right, what wasn't wrong. And I dealt with the fact that they beat up on me that day in that room. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like verbally, you know what I'm saying?
Verbally. Pardon me. They beat up on me that day. And I went home and I was like, fuck this shit. That's exactly what I said. Fuck this shit. I don't want to do that no more. They gonna talk to me like that. They gonna treat me like that. People acting like the same way as 85ers and this, that, and the third. I don't want to deal with it no more. I ain't doing that. They just like the 85%. That's what I said. And I sat at home, lonely for a while, but my book of life was still there. So some days I'll pick it up and I start reading my lessons. Going through the degrees or whatever. Did that a couple of times, and then all of a sudden, I started realizing, okay, nah, you are not God. But think about it. This is what makes Allah. And I am not Allah. I am the earth. I'm a reflection of Him. But here it is. You cannot look to the next man to be who you know what right and wrong is. You have to be that. Because every time you look to the next individual to be what you think God is, or what your perception of God is, then you're giving those individuals power over you. You're not God. And as a reflection of God or a reflection of Allah, you know what I'm saying, I have to be able to study, learn, think, move, and direct my own self. I can't expect you to do what I know needs to be done. When I do that, I'll be disappointed because everybody ain't gonna move how I move, and I ain't gonna move how everybody else moves. That's when we get caught up into, you know what I'm saying, the God, Allah, you know what I'm saying, or whatever else complex. What I do know about me is that I am the earth, and everything that I know about the earth, and all of the many layers that exist on the earth. And you know what I'm saying, the earth's duties in this civilization, and that's what what was able to make me become humble as a woman and want to continue to study and want to continue to thrive to be that woman. I ain't looking to you to be it, and I ain't looking to you to tell me to be it. Common sense, intelligence, and my persistence and continual studies show me who I need to be.
If Mecca did this.